Some call it a crisis in our schools. Buildings in desperate need of repair, and some schools in such bad shape, leaders say it would be cheaper to just tear them down and start from scratch. I'm Eric Sandoval. We're going to show you how some school districts are using your taxpayer dollars to fix and maintain their schools, how their processes are working, and why it may not work in every school district.
Have you seen a 1972 open concept classroom in a minute?
Not that it comes to mind, no.
All right.
At East Marion Elementary School in Silver Springs, none of the classrooms have doors.
You're standing in what is intended to be 4 classrooms.
This is 4 classrooms?
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, and that would be 4, but that's our clinic. So no doors, no walls.
How do the students learn?
They make it work. And then thinking safety-wise, these doors that we just walked through are the original doors for this pod. So they're on a magnet system. When we release the magnet, you know, they lock us in, but there's no, I mean, that's it. This is it between us and 80 students.
Meantime, at Fort King Middle School in Ocala, you can see the age.
Yes.
But even some of the tinting and the peeling on the windows there.
Yes.
This school was built in the 1960s.
These are the original bleachers.
These are the original bleachers.
These are the original bleachers.
Built in what year?
1963, when the gym was built. These are the original bleachers. Wow. They're just restaining them for us.
And 60 years later, its gymnasium is just now getting air conditioning.
If we wanted to air condition the gym, we would have to open up the 4 doors we have 2 on this side and 2 on the other side, and turn on the blowers, and they would cycle air through the gyms.
Those blowers are still being used at Fessenden Elementary School. The building has been used as a school since the 1930s, but the structure dates back to the 1800s. And like a lot of schools in the district, not much has changed.
Our portables that don't have covered walkways, and we have air-conditioned systems that go out, we have leaks. They impact our ability to provide adequate instruction.
These are just some of the reasons why the superintendent says her district is in a crisis. Do you think you've really reached a crisis point?
I think we have, and it's not being overly dramatic. If you look at the data of, again, the growth, but also our facilities, when you have about half of our facilities are over 50 years old, the cost of maintenance continues to climb.
We investigated and we discovered 80% of Marion County school maintenance requests do not get fixed because they don't have the $840 million to do it. Some of that maintenance money used to come from fees from telephone landlines, but when those went away, so did the money.
When you're a school district as large as ours, it really is a challenge to try and keep up with just the renovation and refurbishment needs of our facilities.
A walk through Howard Middle School in Orlando is like taking a step back in time. The school is 97 years old. I noticed some paint peeling along the rafters there. And its age shows. So there was an incident with water damage here?
Water damage right here. So
Tends to happen in a school that was built in 1927,
it does.
right?
It does, yeah. I mean, those are all the different things that we run into in our schools.
Rory Salambini is the Chief Facilities Officer for Orange County Public Schools, and he walked us through some of the upgrades that are now underway here at Howard. The auditorium will get a facelift, including new lighting, seating, and finishes. And upstairs,
new floors, new ceiling, the walls are getting patched, repaired, painted. So much of what's needed for a school, you can't see it.
Like 22-year-old air conditioning units and old electric wiring. Now, to maintain a school like this without closing, it takes a little bit of juggling. They have had to move all of the students from this side of the building, and they've put them in the portables that are right here behind me. But a year from now, these portables are going to be replaced by brand new basketball courts and seating areas. What do you think is the biggest obstacle towards maintaining schools in Orange County Public Schools?
Money. I think it's definitely
that easy?
money.
We uncovered more than $890 million worth of Orange County school maintenance projects could go unfunded. Districts across the country are experiencing the same dilemma. One study showed districts are spending about $110 billion a year maintaining and operating their schools when they should be spending $195 billion. That is a gap of $85 billion. As for lottery dollars, they mostly fund secondary education and Bright Future scholarships. And that is why Marion County Superintendent is now turning to voters. She wants them to pass a half-cent sales tax and impact fees.
It's been 15 years since there's been a sales tax for our facility needs, and it's been 13 years since we've had impact fees and since they were suspended.
The impact fees will help build new schools and wings. Leaders say only 5 new schools have been built in Marion County since the first iPhone was released. And now the district is seeing record enrollment. Its student population growing by 9% in the last decade. A half-cent sales tax could produce millions of dollars for school upkeep. In Orlando, those projects like this one at Howard are already paid for by a half-cent sales tax. But this year, voters need to renew it. And with everyone experiencing tough economic times, it's not a sure thing.
This is not a sustainable way to fund and maintain schools across the state, to rely on the citizens each time to pass it.
You just can't do it without money.
There is a lot to discuss here, and we'd like to hear your opinions. Drop a comment below and make sure you hit subscribe to stay up to date with Solutionaries.